I also feel privileged to have this session and joining you in this session. In fact, I had thought of speaking more about Guru Prasad today. But then in the morning, I just thought of tomorrow's important day. That is the day on which Meher Baba had given a public darshan in Ahmednagar in the Wadia Park. And about 10, 12 members from Pune, including myself, we had gone on bicycle on 11th. We went on bicycle starting from Pune at 4 o'clock and reaching there by afternoon, say 2 o'clock or so. And we stayed overnight with Mr. Thade, L.V. Thade, Senior Thade, who was working in Ahmednagar. And next day from 9 o'clock onwards, 9 o'clock, Baba exactly came to the stage, and thereafter the darshan program started. After the preliminaries, Baba started giving prasad. That prasad was of groundnuts coated by sugar. And Baba was the people started coming for his darshan. People from all villages, nearby villages, they had come in bullock carts, they came in some bicycles, they came walking, and somehow people were very eager to take Baba's darshan. That was the first big darshan in Ahmednagar. And it was a very grand event. In that darshan program, you must have heard about Gardi Maharaj. So Gardi Maharaj was a saintly person, very good saint. In fact, she had very good relation with Meher Baba. He had a good respect for Meher Baba, a devotee of Meher Baba, I would say. And on his request, Meher Baba had visited Pandharpur. So that Gadki Maharaj had visited that darshan program at Wadia Park, Ahmednagar. He sat just close to Baba, at Baba's feet, and Baba was occasionally putting his hand on his shoulders and patting him on back. A very humble person, Gadki Maharaj was a very nice person and very lovable person. Then, except that, and one more event which took place is that Baba bowed down to about 7 people, poor people, and paid his prasad, gave his prasad to those people. Prasad means in form of money. And thereafter, Gadge Maharaj had arranged for Bhandara, that they called Bhandara, that means a simple food, just two items. And that food is being, Baba sat on the ground along with Westerners. There were quite a good number of Westerners who had attended this program on special information for Baba, special intimation from Meher Baba. They attended this program. And Baba had given 2 very beautiful messages. It's wrong for me to say beautiful because everything is beautiful in respect of Meher Baba. But 2 messages were given by Baba. One is how to love God, and other is come all unto me. Come all unto me is a little bit long message. These 2 messages were read out, and side by side that darshan program was going on. Baba participated in that Bhandara, sitting on the floor, sitting on the ground, in the dust. He sat there, he ate there along with the other people. Some of the Westerners were also sitting with Baba. And that event, after that event, again Baba started giving darshan, and this darshan was endless. In fact, it was so much endless that people kept on pouring in, and it was difficult to manage. Even the forest people to have people properly arranged queue and all that, but then volunteers, Baba's Mandali volunteers, they also helped them, and somehow people were just darshan. Many that queue was not to be over all the time. New people used to join the queue, and then the queue kept on increasing. And ultimately, what happened is this: at about 6 o'clock, Baba touched the prasad, the big baskets of prasad. Baba touched it and asked his mandali to distribute it among the people. And thereafter, he went and sat on the top of the car, holding his hand towards the whole mass of people. And gradually, the car came out of that compound and proceeded towards Merazad. It was a very great event. uh, Godavari Mai, Upasni Maharaj's chief disciple, she had attended along with her Kanyas, and she was sitting on the stage. Gadge Maharaj was sitting there on the ground, and a very big event in the history of Ahmednagar city. And thereafter, on 30th September, Baba had a Savas program at Mehrabad. 29th, we went there. 29th, it was very heavy rain. Very heavy rain. All the pendals were raised, and mattresses were spread on the ground. But then, because of the heavy rains, the whole arrangement was to be revived. And overnight, Pendo arranged for the cots with the contractor. He arranged for cots for each member who were attending the Savas program. And thereafter, on the next day, Baba was walking through the mud from here to there. Every pendal he was visiting, visiting the tents of his Mandali members, and his movements were so very fast. He had removed his chappal, in fact, and he was barefooted walking through the mud. I remember that Baba had come from up the hill, and he was going. He was so many people must have seen the Dhuni. By the side of Dhini, there is a road going towards the office. So there, when he came there, we were running after Baba. When very on that particular spot there, Baba asked one of his mandali to take out marble, and he sat on his legs in that muddy place, and gave one marble to me. I was very close to Baba. He gave one marble to me and asked me to hit another marble, and I hit it on the first bounce, and Baba was very happy. And then other boys were also asking for marble, but Baba said, "No, it's over now." And thereafter he went to other tents. So these are the second day when these declarations was made. Baba's final declaration that 3/4 of the world will be destroyed, and the Baba will suffer a violent death from his close ones. That declaration was given by Baba, and it had created such a gloomy atmosphere everywhere. People started weeping. Some of the elderly people were also weeping, and nobody was, in fact, very happy about hearing this message. We were a little bit, our group, young group of Pune people, they were perhaps over smart, and they were talking among themselves, why these people are crying like that? Baba has given this message, Baba has given this declaration, and where is the point in weeping for that? It is his decision, Baba's decision. And the people, the way these people are weeping, that shows their weakness of their heart. And it is not expected of a lover. That was we were thinking. But after years, I myself could understand the value of tears after many years. I won't describe that event, but then after that meeting, the next day there was a very big articles in the newspapers with broad headings. The what Meher Baba said about this 3/4 of the world will be destroyed, all that. So many people that were criticism. They were some people were, I mean, writing in favor, writing against, and they went to the extent of how Meher Baba can say that such thing will happen. That time, was a very special event happened. I was talking about Gadge Maharaj. Pune center is very close to a Dharmashala, which is there in Somawarpet, where Pune center is situated. And Gadge, it was owned by Gadge Maharaj. He had established that asylum, something like that. And he had come there. And K.K. Ramakrishnan, the secretary of Pune center, and one B.S. Bhavsar, Baba lover, both of them went to meet Gadge Maharaj. And Gadge Maharaj was walking up and here and there, and these people were following him. And what Gadge Maharaj said is, why Meher Baba should make such an announcement? It becomes a matter of criticism by the people. And Ramakrishna said, Maharaj, you have yourself declared Meher Baba to be Vithoba. In Pandharpur, your lack of people, you have declared that this is living Vithoba. You have to take his darshan. And now you say that why Meher Baba has done this. But Gadge Maharaj said, I fully accept Baba is God, man. Baba is God in human form. I fully accept. But after all, these are great people. They know what they are doing and they know what they have to do. So we are ignorant about all those things. That is what Gadge Maharaj said about Meher Baba. So this event of the Savas event was over, and then these two very important events had taken place. And one was in the month of September, on 7th of September, when Baba had declared himself as the highest of the high. That was in Dehradun, but we are not talking about that. I will come to Guru Prasad now, because earlier I have talked about how Baba has entered in my personal life. The first incident which I narrated was Baba saying that I am the only companion who is there with you from the very beginning and will remain with you from till the very end. That was one event. Thereafter, there was another event that was in botanical. This was also in the botanical garden. Another also in botanical garden, when Baba showed so much of concern about my health, and looking to just lack of blood in my body. He started paying me 25 rupees per month for me to take milk and butter every morning. So that was another incident. And third incident which I had explained was about my marriage. And now fourth incident is also equally important, which I'm going to tell today. And thereafter, I will tell something about Guru Prasad. Some of the funny stories in Guru Prasad. Now, the second incident which I am going to tell you now is my personal life. I had told earlier that I had joined engineering for my studies, and for that matter, I came from Nagar to Pune. In fact, I was in Nagar for 1 year for inter-science, and thereafter for joining engineering, I came to Pune. And while in Pune, I had to give that education because it was very expensive, very, very expensive, not within my provision of money, not within my resources. And then, of course, another which hurdle that came in my way was that I had to carry out the responsibility of maintaining my mother and my younger brothers, three younger brothers. That responsibility fell on me, and for that matter, I had to give up that engineering course and accept a job in Pune Municipal Corporation. Municipal Corporation is a local body of elected members, and there is one board which is called school board. It is controlling all the primary schools in the city. So I was working in that school board as a clerk. I was getting very meager salary, but I was managing somehow. And I had got married. I had one daughter then, first daughter was then. And to come out of that sad mood of having given up the course of engineering, I could not come to my senses for quite long time. It took many years for me to come out of that sad mood. And then from Pune University, which had started for external students graduation course, I joined that. If from inter arts or inter science, if there is a gap of say 4 5 years, then you can directly appear for the graduation. That was the provision, and it was those who are appearing for such an examination, they are called the external students. So externally, I appeared for BA, Bachelor of Arts, and I got through the examination with honors, with first class honors. That was a great achievement, but then it was not to my choice. However, as a compromise, I graduated myself, and there was advertisement in the newspaper for the post of sales tax inspectors. That is something to do with the local taxes, Maharashtra government taxes. That is called sales tax. Tax on the sales of goods, sales and purchase of goods. That is called the sales tax. At certain places, it is called commercial tax. But in Maharashtra, it was called sales tax. So that was the post of sales tax inspector. They were supposed, these who are inspectors, they are supposed to check the books of accounts of the dealers and make an assessment and then get it cleared from the officers. That was the job which they were supposed to do, and there are some outside inquiries also. So I had applied for that post, and I was called for interview. That interview was in Mumbai. After I received that letter of calling me for interview, I started feeling very much guilty because before applying for the post, I had not informed Meher Baba. I should have informed Meher Baba But somehow it was my desperate attempt. In fact, I was not very hopeful of getting this job, but desperately I had applied. And in that desperation, I didn't inform Meher Baba. And when that call for interview came, then of course, I started feeling very guilty about it. And one afternoon, I opened this topic when Baba was at leisure. I opened this topic that Baba, I have received such and such letter for an interview for such and such post. And Baba said, where will be your job? I said, it will be mostly in Mumbai, because I had shown in my documents, I had shown Pune as my birthplace. And it was rule of the government of Maharashtra that they are not posting the staff to their native places. That the reason was they may create interests, and then they may indulge into unfair practices of earning money and all that. That was the philosophy behind these not posting the people to their native places. And when I said to Baba that I had shown Pune as my native place, so they are not likely to post me to Pune, and my job will be in Mumbai. And Baba's face was so very, what should I say? He showed so much of concern. His face turned out to be a very concerned. He said, if your job is in Mumbai, what will happen with the Pune Center? The whole setting of Pune Center will get disturbed. I immediately told Baba, if you don't wish, I will not go. Then Baba started inquiring about Baba asked me, what you are doing now? I said, I am working in the Pune Municipal Corporation. Then Baba asked me, how much pay you get? I told Baba the pay which I was getting. You will not believe the boys who are getting lakhs and lakhs of rupees today. They will not believe me. We were getting something about 70, 80 rupees as our salary. And when I told Baba that this much salary I get, and Baba just expressed that it's a very low salary. How you manage in this low salary? I said, Baba, economically I can manage it. And how much salary you will be getting there? I told Baba that this will be salary. It was little more than that. Then Baba said, but then the Pune Center, setting of the Pune Center will get disturbed. And I again said to Baba, please, if you do not wish, I will not go. I will forget about it. But Baba is not going to leave that topic. Every time he says that the center working will get disturbed, because it was such a nice group, such a compact group. Madhusudan as our senior member, then Narendra Thade, myself, then Narayan Mandilu, then other people, Madhusudan's brothers. That was a very, very compact, nice group, one-pointed belief, one-pointed faith in Baba, and very energetic, ready to do any job, any work for Baba. And in such a case, Baba said, if you go away, then naturally the group will get disturbed. And then again, my answer is that, Baba, if you do not wish, I will not go. I will forget about it. I will not feel also anything about it. But then Baba also is concerned about my maintenance, my family. Ultimately, after so much of talk on this same point, Eraj intervened and said, Baba, he said in Gujarati, Baba, प्रताप जहाँ जाए ત્યાં તમારો જ કામ કરશે. Wherever Pratap goes, he will do your work because he entirely belongs to you. And wherever he goes, he will do your work. Now, he is doing Pune Center's work. He is serving you through Pune Center. In Mumbai also we have center, a good center. And he will be useful there. After this argument, then Baba ultimately gave his decision. All right, if you can appear for the interview. If you are selected, you can join the job. If you are not selected, forget about it. I said, yes, Baba. And when I appeared for the interview, I was selected. I was selected for that post. But then I was called for a 3 months training on stipend of 100 rupees per month. 100 rupees per month on stipend. And that training was for 3 months. And exactly at that time, this Baba's East-West gathering was to commence. And it had become a problem for me now what to do. I cannot remain absent for this East-West gathering. So I just wrote to my department that I require some time for joining this training. So please allow me some time. And graciously they allowed me about 1 month's time or 2 months' time. And then I could attend the East-West gathering fully, working as volunteers and sitting there in the bhajan group, singing for Baba during East-West gathering darshan programs. And I could give justice to both this work. After this East-West gathering was over, then I went and joined my job in Mumbai. Now Baba had told me that when you go to Mumbai, you have to take part in all the activities of the Bombay Center. You have to regularly go to the center for weekly meetings. You have to participate in whatever events they are arranging. You have to participate. And believe me, the moment I went there, I started going to the center. I started working for the center, in whatever way I could do. And I made good friendship with all the people. In fact, I was very much told that these Parsis will not allow you to stay there more. They will drive you out. But believe me, I had very, very, very cordial relations with all these people. Bombay people, they have loved me so much. They have loved my whole family so much that every event I used to attend from Bombay Center. And one afternoon when I was at home, I received a postcard written by Bhav Kalchuri. And Bhav had written to me that Baba wants you to attend regularly Bombay Center programs and do whatever work you can do for the Bombay Center. In the beginning, I used to attend the center, but then for the birthday functions, I used to come to Pune. Every birthday function, I will be in Pune. And this went on up to the last, up to Baba's Dauphic body. This went on. Only one occasion when on the very day, 25th February, the very day in 1 year, there was election and I was given an election duty, and it is a rule of the government that nobody can, once you get that election duty, you have to carry out the duty. So I had no option. Only that year, in the morning, I took permission from my senior and went and attended the morning session of the birthday function in Mumbai. That is the only year I attended Bombay program. And then I joined the election duty. I did that duty successfully till evening, late night. And this went on till Baba dropped his body. After Baba dropping body also, every year, I used to go to Pune for Baba's birthday functions. For all the other functions, I'll be in Bombay. And I had created a very good relations, very good rapport with every Babalos in Mumbai. And they loved me and they love me also very much. This is what I had to tell about my going to Mumbai. Now, one event, still there are half an hour, I will just...
lots of
an
time, don't
event
worry.
in Guru Prasad.
We can even
You would
extend
like
the
to have something light. I will tell something light. Something amusing event.
Yeah. So don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time. We have ample time.
Acha. Anyway, when we used to go in Guru Prasad, last time I had told that how Baba used to receive us in the beginning, taking us to task why nobody has come to inquire about me. And then, in spite of the circulars that nobody should disturb Baba when he is in Guru Prasad, and when we observe that circular, Baba rebuked us. Why nobody of you thought of coming to me and inquiring about my health, inquiring whether I need anything? And then he will ask us to twist our ears and stand and sit and stand and sit. That was the punishment he would give, and then allow us to. Thereafter, he would allow us, give a blanket permission to attend Guru Prasad whenever we are free. And that advantage we used to take very much. In fact, when Baba would retire in the evening, say at about 3:30 or in between 3:30 and 4, that was a very peculiar incident. Baba retiring to his room. I had at times I used to have some work. The road for the way for which was I had to cross Guru Prasad and go ahead to attend some work, office work in the Eroda prison press. And while coming back from there, I used to peep in Guru Prasad. Certain times Baba would be there. Even if Baba is not there, I will have a little chat with Eraj and then come to office. That used to be very, very often I used to do that. And I especially used to take some job that side so that I can just peep in Guru Prasad. What just happen is, when Baba retires to his room, he will stand up. Everyone present there will stand up, and Baba will fold his hands like this to each one of, looking at each one of us, each one. Say if there are 10 people, Baba would, with his folded hand, Baba will do like this. If somebody is behind somebody, Baba will bend like this and do like this. So on Baba's nazar would be on each one of us. This incident, Baba's face will be very serious, a different sort of a very powerful vibrations, I would say, coming out from Baba's face. And that was the gesture which Baba used to do. And I used to go in Guru Prasad to catch these moments. Sometimes Baba would ask, why you are not going to your office? I used to tell Baba that I have some work here and I finish up that work soon, and then I just take a chance to come to you. And Baba used to like it. But this another incident which this is just passing incident which I told you. Baba retired in his room with a peculiar gesture, peculiar expression on his face. But then another incident which I am going to describe is that Baba is such a compassionate, beloved, a compassionate father, that there used to be two sessions. One is from 8 o'clock in the morning up to 10:30 or 11 at the most. Then Baba would go for lunch, and Baba would take lunch with the women mandali, and thereafter he would lie down for some time. He never, he even if he goes and rest there, there is no rest for him. He will call somebody and do something or other. All the time, Baba, we have never seen Baba, I mean, resting for quite a good time. No. Every time he will do something or the other. So in his resting room also somebody will be there. He will call somebody, they will have some inquiry, this and that. Every time that used to be there. In Guru Prasad, now I'll tell you the situation of Guru Prasad. Once you enter from the gate, the road, there are two roads. One is going towards from the left side. When you enter from the left side, it goes behind Guru Prasad. And if you go straight, it will lead to a porch where at times they used to park cars, and in that porch, after that porch, there were steps, about 10 steps, and then veranda, and just after the 10 steps, there is a big door leading to the hall. That hall before darshan programs, and just adjacent to that hall if you face that hall on the left side, just adjacent to that hall, there will be Baba's room. Nobody is allowed to go inside except when Baba asks somebody to come for some work, not otherwise. And we had a habit that we never peeped in not even what is going on behind Guru Prasad. We never tried to find out, tried to peep in, tried to go there. Never. We were concerned with Baba, and we used to go and sit before Baba. That's all. And this is about the main hall. On the right hand side, when you approach Guru Prasad, on the right hand side, there will be another veranda and another door, another steps, another door, which leads to the Mandali hall. That is the hall when Baba would sit along with the Mandali. And in the hall, main hall and the Mandali hall, there will be one door. Baba from his room, he wants to come to the Mandali hall, he will come from the inside door. Now, Baba it will mostly afternoon of Saturday when we used to have holidays, and then Sundays we used to have full day holidays. So on Sundays, Saturdays, when we go for lunch, Baba would say, Baba would be coming to Guru Prasad in the month of May. And May month is very hot in Pune. It used to be morning and evening will be quite cool, but afternoon will be very hot sun. There is a lot of difference between the weather of Mumbai and Pune, because Mumbai is humid, temperature is humid, and you don't feel so much of harshness of the sunlight. But in Pune, the sun is very harsh and very scorching sun, and outside they will be very hot. Inside, the tall walls of Guru Prasad and big fans and a very beautiful carpet spread over the whole area of this, both the hall and the rooms. It's such a spacious bungalow, very, uh, very spacious and very airy. Inside, we won't feel so much of hot, but outside it will be very hot. But then Baba would say that you go to lunch in this hot sun. So when you come back, you must be getting very tired. In the hot sun, you must be getting very suffocating. And after you come here, you must be feeling very tired. So better hereafter what you do, after you finish up your lunch, when you come back to Guru Prasad, you can lie down in the hall, in the Mandali hall. You can lie down. There are good fans here. They are in full speed. There are good carpets here. You can have a good nap, afternoon nap. You can have a good rest. And when I come and take my seat, you can be fresh by the time I come here. That Baba used to say, and Baba used to advise that after you finish your lunch, you have a good nap. Afternoon, you can sleep and then be fresh when I come back. And we took it very, how kind Baba is, how compassionate Baba is. Baba is taking so much of care of us. And then we will sleep. And many a times we would go in a deep sleep. Now what will happen is listen carefully what happens afterwards. When we are asleep, all in a row, when we are asleep, from the side door, Baba would come inside with his one hand on Erech's shoulder, and in another hand, a cane stick, a long stick, a very flexible stick in another hand. He will very swiftly come in without making any sound, without making any noise. He will come, and whoever is found asleep, he will give full stroke. Now, just imagine this. This is the compassion of God, man. Just imagine a person who is in a deep sleep and gets such a just thrashing all of a sudden, and he gets up and he cannot make out where I am. He cannot just make out whether I am in Guru Prasad or at home or I am on the street. He is not able to do that because he was in a deep sleep. And what he says before his eyes is two smiling faces, not smiling faces, they're laughing faces. One is of Erech and one is of Mere Baba. They are laughing at you. And after some time, you just come to your senses and feel that we have been the victim of Mere Baba's Mere Baba's, I mean, just humorous act. But that stick, Baba would not be miser in having that, giving that stroke. It will be full-blooded stroke, raising a hand full strength, full length, and then hitting it hard. I heard once that twice, but for the first time when I had it, it was covering actually one side of my full body up to my legs. Baba had given that that sash. Everyone had that. Sometime at some point of time, everyone had that had tasted that compassion of Meher Baba. On second occasion, of course, uh, I was sleeping by Madhusudan's side, and when Madhusudan could sense that Baba is coming inside, he pushed my shirt so furiously that I got up and then sat on my seat. By that time, Baba had given a light stroke, but then it was very light. The first one was when I was fast asleep. All these members who were there, at some point of time, they had this prasad from Baba, and that was the amazing moments in Baba's presence. Now I will tell something about my three of my friends. But there is a 10 minutes, and if you have any questions about
Jai Baba Pratap Ji, Farishta here.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba,
Nice to see
good
you.
to see you. I am so enjoying your talk. It's so delicious from the heart, as if Baba is there and you are with Baba. So thank you. I had one question. When you were talking about how people were distressed about hearing Baba's final declaration, and how they were weeping and all, they just did not have the capacity to know that even what he may say is really for the benefit of mankind overall. And then Baba came back with a clarification of his final declaration and kind of softened it a little bit. Did you hear at that time talks, informal talks from the Mandali or Baba himself about what his intention was, and really was it just to soften so that he wouldn't scare people, or truly he was saying things to clarify so that we don't misinterpret? Any more you can say about his second attempt at clarifying the final declaration?
Okay. In fact, during that time, we were actually, I would say about our people, our group, we were not so matured to understand the exact meaning of the declaration. And especially when Baba said that he will suffer a violent death. That was very sad declaration which Baba had made. And then people started weeping, and we were making fun of them. Why these people are weeping? That we could not appreciate exactly what the people must be feeling when Baba said that he will be dropping his body this way. But then about the other things, about the 3/4 of the world, and that part, there was so much of discussion in the newspapers. Lot of discussion. We never thought of all these things. We were not thought of these things. We just accepted what Baba said. That's all. because our minds were not so mature to think over it or to have some attached some meaning to it. What Baba said is said. But then, because of the lot of criticism, now, before that, I would just like to say, I told about Gadgi Maharaj, a saintly person, when he says that this is a statement of a great person, referring to Baba, I said, these are big people, these are great people. They know what they have to do, they know what they are doing. So we are not able to understand what they do. Even saintly person like Gadgi Maharaj was said to be a sixth place saint. He could not understand. So, no question of we people understanding what Baba has meant about that. But then Baba had to give the explanation or sort of clarification thereafter that certain things I tell in your language which you can understand. Certain things I tell you in my language and your language which also you can understand. But there are certain things which I give only in my language which you can never understand. And this particular statement about 3/4 of the world, which Baba has stated, must be falling in that last phase of this explanation. Now, coming to the present situation, many people in Baba lovers, among Baba lovers, they are correlating the present situation with that declaration which Baba had made there in 1954. And it looks like, because the Baba had said in Guru Prasad that the condition of the world will be such that everything go out of hands of these big leaders. They will be helpless in every sense. They will be helpless. And what we are experiencing today is exactly the same thing. They are not able to find out a solution for the present situation. When this thing will come and when these leaders will call out for God, then I will manifest before the people. This Baba had said. So I do not know whether I am very much clear about it. Whatever I have understood from that, I am just telling you.
She asked whether there were informal talks between Mandali and
No, we never had these informal talks amongst ourselves. We never used to think much about it. We never used to much think about it. We just accepted it. That's all. Even the senior people, they never used to talk about it. We used to meet, we used to meet money and all that, but they never used to talk about it.
Very good.
Am I clear
Jai
now?
Baba. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Yeah. There is a request for Shankar Shambhu story.
Shankar Shambhu story.
Shankar Shambhu story. You want to hear?
Yes.
All right. After one ghazal program in Guru Prasad, when it usually used to happen that after a program, darshan program, Baba would go to the Mandali hall and we will all follow. Some of us will follow Baba and sit there for some time, and only when Baba asks us to go, now you can go home now, then we will leave from there. So like that, Baba, after one program, Baba came to the Mandali hall and we all followed. And I told Baba that there is one Kawwal, two of them, Shankar and Shambhu, they are two persons. They are very big name in Mumbai. In fact, everywhere we hear their names as the main singers in big programs, in big events. And Baba, you are very fond of listening to Qawwalis. I feel that was my saying to Baba. I feel that uh, you will enjoy their program. In fact, I never knew. I had not heard their program, but what had happened is that they were staying in a in a garage, motor garage near Bhaikala station. And in that motor garage, one of my cousin brothers, he was a driver. He also used to stay there. And he used to tell much about these two people, about Shankar Shambhu. And I had thought that Baba would like their singing. So I told Baba in a good faith. And then Baba asked Kishan Chand Gajwani, who was he was ready to do spend and ready to do everything for Baba. Baba told him that you can invite these two people for a program, and he very happily accepted that. And then Kishore and Gajwani, both of them went to invite Shankar Shambhu, and so they were invited. Now, on the day of the program, the whole was on such programs, Baba used to invite all the Baba families in Pune, in Nagar, in Mumbai, and they all used to gather. The whole hall used to be full. All these Ghazal Qawwali programs, or any singing program, Baba would involve all his lovers, and they will enjoy Baba's company also. Many of the people, they never used to understand the Urdu language and Qawwali and Ghazals. But then they could sit with Baba for quite some time, and they would be feeling happy. Now, when these were invited, they came and they were tuning their instruments in the Mandali hall. Baba was sitting in the main hall, Darshan hall, and we all were sitting in front of Baba. Our bhajan could, all the family people, they were sitting on one side, ladies on the other side, gents, and little space in between. And on the gent side, we had a specific place for us to sit. There was an area when the bhajan mandal used to sit, and any singer would be there close to us. They will sit there and sing for Baba. So these two were tuning their instruments inside the hall, and myself and Madhusudan were right in front of Baba. Baba said to us that you go and talk with them, make them comfortable. Just explain to them what type of songs I like. And according to Baba's wish, myself and Madhusudan, we went inside, and we sat there for some time. And then I started. Madhusudan used to keep quiet. In such events, he won't speak. So I started talking to the person. I said, Meher Baba is very fond of listening to. Meher Baba is fond of listening to music, and especially Ghazal, he likes very much. And then I referred to some names. So many people have sung before Baba, and Baba is enjoying good singing. Always he enjoys good singing and good ghazals. And I also told him that the ghazals, what type of ghazals Baba likes. There are two types. One is Ishke Hakiki and Ishke Mizaji. Ishke Mizaji is worldly love, ghazals on worldly love. And Ishke Hakiki means on love for God. Even even in the ghazals which express our love for God, they refer to wine as a medium for that love. They give that simile of wine, and the one who is Sadguru or the master, he is the wine seller, and these are the similes often used. So when a real good singer, when he sings about wine, it is not usual wine, it is not rum or not whiskey or nothing of that sort. It is the wine of love. And when I was just trying to explain to them that Baba likes this such type of ghazal, that one person was very egoistic among those two. Another one was not speaking much, but this one who was speaking, he said that you need not tell all these things. We have sung before so many people, and we have been successful in pleasing people. We know all these things. You need not tell us all these things. When he said so, I thought it's no use sitting here. So myself and Madhusudan, we went back and sat, took our seats there in front of Baba. And Baba asked me, why, what has happened? Why you come back? I told Baba that this man said like this. Baba said, all right. Then after some time, both of them came and they started singing. Believe me, the first song, Baba's face was not not very happy. It was a warning for me. And such a great singers who had a achieved big name in Mumbai, whole of Mumbai, they could not please Baba in the first song. Other two songs also, Baba was not very much happy about that. And after about 3 songs, Baba stopped them. Baba called him. Baba praised them very much. Just now, how that praise you can imagine what that praise will be. He took out his handkerchief and then wiped his face and then gave them as a present to preserve these 2 handkerchiefs to both of them. This gesture, after this, Baba stopped further singing, and then when the darshan program was over, we all followed Baba in the Mandali room, Mandali hall, and when Baba looked at me and he said, why you are boasting such a high about these 2? You are talking so much. They are hollow. They were hollow. I very politely said, Baba, I never knew that they will perform so badly before you. Then Baba said, one of them had a very good voice. One of them had the other one who talked to me, not that one, the other one. About him, Baba said he had a very good voice. But what type of ghazal they have selected before me? Baba, meri jholi bhar do, fill up my give me something. All demands. This type of singing. Baba never liked this type of ghazal. Baba never liked. Baba's liking was altogether different. In fact, very simple ghazal singers. These two were of a very big name, but very simple ghazal singer was there in Pune. In Pune, his name was Bashir. He was very thin and short, structured person, a good-looking, a fair-looking boy. When he used to come to Baba, Jal had a friendship with that person. Of course, he used to get money. When he used to come to sing before Baba, I tell you, he has entertained Baba so much, so much. And I used to note down those ghazals. Sitting behind somebody, I would take out my notebook and write down while they are singing the ghazals. In fact, I was not very much good in understanding Urdu words and all that. But then whatever they sing, I would note down. After some days, Baba had noticed this, that whenever a ghazal singer sings, Pratap note down these ghazals. And when any good ghazal is sung, Baba would ask me whether you have noted down the ghazal. And I would say, yes, Baba. Then Baba, after this program would be over, Baba would ask me to read that ghazal. And any mistakes which I have committed in noting down the words, Baba would correct that. And those ghazals we used to sing before Baba in the same tune. So that person, he had entertained Baba very much. In fact, he had fallen in Baba's love so much that at times I have seen him weeping while singing before Baba. Especially one ghazal wherein the wordings are तू गले लगा के न छोड़ना मेरी जिंदगी का सवाल है. Don't abandon me. Just it is a question of my life. He used to cry, he used to weep. That was Bashir. And then comparing to these two ghazal singers, there was one very simple person. He was also staying in Bandra area in a garage, motor garage. He comes from Hyderabad. He had come to my house also. His name was M.Y. Mohan. His voice was very similar to a great singer, K.L. Saigal. He was a very great singer, a cinema singer, and he had a very big name, and he was really a very good singer. Baba also used to like his voice very much. So this M.Y. Mohan's voice was similar to that Saigal. He had entertained Baba so much. His very famous ghazals which he used to sing is तस्वुर में महफिल सजाते सजाते सहर हो गई तुम उन्हें आते आते. So very simple, but what was important is your politeness in presenting yourself before a God man. Baba was not a simple person, or a simple saintly person who was listening to your ghazal. You should have realized as to where you're singing. And your ego you have to keep aside your ego and sing before Baba. If that ego comes in the way, it can never satisfy Baba. It can never please Baba. One has to always, all these singers, one has to note this, that whenever we are singing for Baba, we should be very polite. Our main focus should be on Baba. We should keep aside, if Pratap is singing, Pratap should keep aside that Pratap and then singing, keeping only focus on Baba. Then only God is pleased. So very simple singers, they have pleased Baba, but not this great name. They could not please Baba. That was all about Shankar Shambhu. Baba never liked their, all the songs they have selected was not good. There is, except that voice of one person, Baba didn't like the whole program. He just disposed them off. Anything else?
Yeah, Jeff
Who?
has a question. So, Jeff.
So, Pratap,
Yes, please.
I don't know if there's time, but I was wondering, this is personal, but would you, would you find were the most difficult internal struggles that you had in living for Baba? Would you feel like touching on that at all, or even if there's time? We all have, obstacles in living for Baba within ourselves. Would you feel like sharing what struggles you had within?
Jeff, it's a very good question. If you ask about me, even after coming to Baba, both in my private life and in my life with Baba, there were always ups and downs. Very testing time. Also when working for Baba, especially, you see, when now you have opened this topic, I don't talk much about it, but then when Madhusudan started remaining absent, he stopped coming to Baba, coming for the programs, coming in Amar Tithi, and even he stopped saying Baba lovers. He used to get upset whenever any Baba lover go to meet him. That time, I took it as a duty bound to keep on going the Pune programs, the birthday programs and the center programs, because there was a big vacuum created because of Madhusudan's leaving. But when I tried to keep the thing going on, people misunderstood me to the extent that Pratap wanted Madhusudan to leave so that he can occupy his position.
Hmm.
That was a very nasty blame on me. Very nasty blame. I never had that thought. Even when I came to US first time when I came to US, it was because of Dr. Gohar. During our Tithi, they were sitting, all the Mandali women, Mandali were sitting in the first row, and I was attending the stage duty. And when I came down to just bow down, just to say Jai Baba to them, Gobar stopped me and said that, Pratap, I want to have something for you. Just wait, I will finish up meeting with these people and then talk to you. And after she finished up, some people were waiting to meet her. After she met all them, and she turned to me and said, would you like to go to LA? I could not follow what is that LA, but then I could immediately, because I had received some magazines, Los Angeles, Love Street Lamppost. So I could immediately make out what is LA. And then she said that they are holding Sahvas every year. And every year they invite somebody from India. So when I saw you, I thought you can be a good choice for them to be invited for this program, for its LA Sahvas. This LA Sahvas, the invitation which was caused by Dr. Gohar, some people have thought that the original invitation was to Madhusudan, whereas Pratap has played some mischief and he got it diverted to himself. It was really, I am sitting before Baba. It was not so. It was not so. I had never had that thought, that sort of a thought. In fact, I never had any feeling like a competition. No, no, it was never there. And I had much love for Madhusudan. He had much love for me. In the end, just before his passing away, I had gone to meet him. And that time he looked into my eyes and said, I was very much badly remembering you today. And I said that I get very little time, but I managed to come here. So I passed good moments with him. We had singing together. That time I told Madhusudan, there have been such a propaganda against me that there was a chance for you to go to US, which have been diverted by me through some mismanipulation. I got it towards me, diverted to me. So, and so much of propaganda has been made against me. What you feel about it? Whether you have the same thing. He looked deep into my eyes, and what he said is, Pratap, Meher Baba has given justice to you. Meher Baba has given justice to you. You have continuously worked on for him so many years and never left him. Whereas I am undergoing all these troubles because I had diverted for some time from him. Whereas you have not done that. So he has given full justice to you. That is what Madhusudan said. So this is Jeff. One has to face all these things. Not only that, but even for senior people, we have to. I don't remember any time when I knew that there is such and such people we could see from their faces that change in the attitude. I have seen that. But then I never went to clarify my position. In the course of time, they themselves understand what of what nature Pratap is. So this is what one has to undergo, Jeff.
Thank you, Pratap.
How
Jai Baba,
beautiful.
Jai Baba, Jai
And
Baba.
how fortunate you are that Baba's Nazar is on you so much to get false accusation.
So much.
That is the best
Yes.
sanskara removal project.
Yes, yes.
About
Yes.
Pratapji, forgive me for asking this question because I do not know, I'm ignorant. What was the reason for Madhusudan to stop coming to Baba? What happened to him?
The obvious reason was one thing. After his marriage, there was a much difference in the attitudes of his wife and himself. Madhusudan, as such, he was all right. But then, because of the pressure from his wife, he had to do certain things, which in fact he was not very much inclined to do. What happened is that I told you that I was receiving 25 rupees per month. So after Madhusudan's marriage, Madhusudan was also receiving some amount, about 100 rupees or so. And after Baba dropped his body, naturally that was stopped. That he didn't like that. He and his wife didn't like that because in my question, I received that message and I immediately said, Baba, You can stop anytime you want. I am all right now. But in Madhusudan's case, he wanted to be one of the beneficiaries of the trust, which could not be. His name was not there. And what they thought is that we have served Baba so many years. What we have gained, what we have achieved, what we have gained. I for myself, I never thought that. But it was Meherba's game. Ultimately, they have come back, and Madhusudan has accepted that all that suffering which I am undergoing is because we could not. Just keep our life in conformity with his wishes, with his will. So that is what.
Yeah, thank you, Pratap Uncle. There's one more question. I'm reading out for this person. His mic is not working, so I'm reading his question. Thank you, Pratap Uncle. Jai Baba Pratap Uncle. My name is Jay from USA. I've known about Baba since I was 20 years old when I saw his book, God Speaks online. Pratap Uncle, how can we awaken Baba's love within us? I've heard so many stories from Baba lovers about how Baba awoke in their hearts. Am I not worthy of his love? So we have Jay in this group, under the name Om. So he has asked this question.
What is the definition of worthiness? There is in question as it concerns to Baba, there is no question of worthiness. See, we heard so many songs wherein people said, "How can he approach you? We are so much full of all vices, and we are not capable, or we are not, fit to come before you." That in Baba's case, it was not a question, never a question. Baba said, "I want your weaknesses." This is one thing, one aspect of the thing. But then what another question which he asked is very vital question. That is how we can awaken Baba within our hearts. Nowadays, the boys and girls, young girls and boys, they have all these modern technologies to study about Meher Baba. When they want to have some passage from God Speak, they will just open that particular internet connection and then read that passage. This is nowadays. This is the procedure which is followed by young people. To me, this is not enough. You just keep on reading. Don't read God Speaks. Don't read big books. Don't read philosophical books. Just read Baba's life story. And we have very detailed story through this Lord Meher. More or less, it is a day-to-day activities of Baba. If you keep on reading this, I am really sure that the love which you seek for, it will awaken in your heart. Because referring to the internet for some information is a different thing. But when you read a book, especially I have found that when we try to translate a book or for a particular subject, if you want to analyze Baba's statements, then you gradually come to know as with whom you are connected. Who is that person? Who is that? How great is the greatness and your own fortune for having connected with him. Then you follow that. You come to know about that, and this is very important for you to create that love. You see, I told you this is a very beautiful incident which I tell you. I told you that when the Baba declaration, last declaration that 3/4 world will be destroyed. All right. So when Baba had declared that he will die of a violent death, then people started weeping, and we were making fun of those people that this is a weakness of their heart, that they should not expose their love in this fashion. That was the philosophy that we were carrying with us. But then once it so happened that Baba had come to Pune, and he had called people for darshan. Very few people were there for coming for Baba's darshan, and Baba sitting in an open space outside. It must have been there in the botanical garden, and one by one, Baba was sitting on a chair, and now people are approaching him. And when I came before Baba, Baba looked so very pale and so very weak that I started weeping. And Baba allowed me to weep for some time, and they said, "What has happened to you? Why you are weeping?" And what I said is that, "Baba, you look so very weak and so very pale. I could not bear that sight." And Baba said that the whole burden of the whole universe is falling on me, and that is why my health has fallen down so much. So that person who has asked this question, let him converse with Meher Baba every day. Wherever his picture is there, Baba's picture is there. Just if you get up, just hello Baba, how are you? Have you slept well? Just simple conversation with Meher Baba every day, while getting up and while sleeping, going to bed. Now Baba, I am going to bed. Now you also go to bed. I am also going to bed. I sleep well. Simple conversation with Meher Baba. Gradually you will come so close to Meher Baba that I am sure that will make a lot of difference in your heart towards Baba. Let him try this experiment.
Sure. So, starting
Jai.
Avatar
Jai
Meher
Baba.
Baba ki
Jai.
Baba ki jai.
जय
Avatar Meher Baba ki
Baba
jai.
ki
जय
Thank you, Pratap.
Jai Baba.